The purpose of this video is to discuss and evaluate the Alien Sand Wedge. The original Alien Sand Wedge shown here is about 20 years old. Attitudes vary widely about this club. Some folks say it's a gimmick, some say it's a crutch, some say it's a bandaid, some say to use it is cheating. However, many folks love the Alien Club, and I am one of those. With all new golf technologies comes controversy and sharp differences of opinion. In this review, I'm not going to address any of these arguments. Instead, the purpose of this video is to study one thing only. Does this club live up to the manufacturer's claim? Specifically, does this club help the average amateur golfer with bunker shots, pitch shots from tall grass, and lob shots from bad lies? In brief, my conclusion is that it does. However, the Alien has some limitations that I'll discuss later. Before going further into the results, we will look at the manufacturer's video on how to use this club.
I'm in a bunker right now, and the most feared shot for you is obviously the sand shot. Now, it shouldn't be with the ultimate wedge, the Alien Wedge. Now, I'm going to give you 5 little tips that'll help you play shots, I guarantee you, the first time out of the bunker with the Alien Wedge. First, and very important, keep your stance square to the target line. I don't want to see you open it up like you do a conventional wedge or the ordinary wedge, because this is no ordinary wedge. This is the Alien. I want you to keep it nice and square. Second, keep the ball in the middle of your stance right here. Don't play the ball too far forward like this, but keep it back in the middle of your stance. Third, very, very important, keep your hands in a neutral position. I don't want to see you putting your hands way ahead of the ball like this. That's not good. Keep them right in the middle in a neutral position. And the fourth and most important tip I can give you about this Alien Wedge is keep the blade toed in. Keep the club face turned in. The little dots on the face, I want to see you line them up towards your right leg. So don't do it by turning your hands in, but rotate the club square and then grip the club and then set it up behind the ball. Now, I can hit the ball either here or here. I can hit the ball back here fat. The fifth and the most easiest thing to do is just take the club back and swing it. I guarantee you the ball will come out first try out of the bunker without any effort at all. So let's try it. Now that was out of a good lie, but wait till you see how I hit it out of a buried lie. Matter of fact, I'm gonna step on it. How do you like that lie? Now with the Alien Wedge, the only thing I have to do to play this shot is just turn the face in a little bit more and put the same swing on it. Comes out the same way every time. Just try these tips. I think they'll help your bunker game. Now, playing the Alien Wedge out of the long grass is just like you play it out of the sand. Just remember, you don't open your stance like an ordinary wedge. You've got to, number one, keep your stance nice and square to the target line. That's very important. I don't want to see you open it. Number two, I want you to put the ball in the middle of your stance when you play the Alien Wedge. Don't get the ball forward, because if you do that, the club's going to bounce off the ground and hit into the ball. You're going to hit the ball thin. So keep the ball in the middle of your stance. Number three, I want you to keep your hands in a neutral position like this. Don't force your hands forward again. You don't have to try to lift the ball up or force your hands forward. Just keep them in a nice neutral position. And the most important thing you must remember about the Alien Wedge is to keep the face toed in or closed. Now, don't do this by gripping the club and turning your hands in. I want you to take the club, rotate the blade shut first. Once you've rotated it shut, then you grip the club. The dots on the face should be aiming at my right leg, right in here. So when you rotate the club blade shut, it's going to look like it's closed, but don't worry about it. The Alien Wedge is going to lift the ball up nice and soft to the hole. So when we do that, we rotate it closed. And the fifth thing I need to remember is don't be afraid to hit behind the ball. the club's going to lift the ball right up. Hit 2 or 3 inches behind it, it doesn't matter. So let's run through that. Square stance, ball in the middle of my stance, hands in a neutral position, rotate the face closed. Don't be afraid to swing back and hit behind the ball. Just back and through. Nice and soft. Now here's a shot I guarantee you don't have in your bag, and if you do, you're out there on the PGA Tour already playing with me. And that's the shot off of hard pan, probably the scariest shot in the game. Now with the Alien Wedge's unique triple radius design, it's going to allow the club to just slide through underneath the ball. The club's not going to bounce off the ground and it's not going to dig in. It's just going to slide under it, lift the ball nice and soft right up to your target. Now, once again, there's 5 things you must remember. It's the same on a sand shot and in the long grass. Pay attention again. First thing, keep your stance nice and square. Second, put the ball in the middle of your stance. Third, don't get the hands too far forward. Keep the hands back in a neutral position. This is very important. And fourth, the most important thing in hitting the Alien Wedge is to keep the club blade square or toed in. Make sure you turn the club in. Roll the club in and rotate it in, then grip the club, allow you to swing the club back with a square blade. And fifth, very important, don't be afraid of this shot. Let the club swing right through. If you hit 2 inches behind it, that's okay. Just finish your swing and the club will lift the ball right up. So let's try one. You know what the
As you can see, the technique for using the club is uniform and simple. If you follow these rules, about the only variable left to the user is swing speed. So, how does the Alien perform in the sand in the hands of a 20 handicap amateur? With the Alien, I'm getting out of the bunkers about 95% of the time. With the traditional sand wedge, I'm getting out of the bunkers about 85% of the time. However, before improving my technique with the traditional sand wedge, the Alien club was the clear winner. Here we see my results with the Alien wedge. The technique is easy, but 2 things are critical. You must hit behind the ball, and you must accelerate through the shot, being sure to follow through. Though easy to use with the Alien, you really cannot change the angle of the club face. Therefore, swing speed is about all you have to control the shot length. Here I am with the traditional sand wedge. I'm not too bad, but using the traditional wedge requires technique and practice. It took me many hours of practice to get to an 85% escape rate. Now let's see how the Alien handles lob shots. It's winter, the grass is dormant, and the lies are tight. I'll use the advice the manufacturer gives and hit very slightly behind the ball, providing a very small amount of club bounce. With such a tight lie, I suggest hitting only a fraction of an inch before the ball. Doing this makes the lob shots over the bunker rather easy. In fact, the high trajectory results are very much like flop shots. I can get close to the same success rate using a 60-degree wedge, but much practice is needed as the margin for error is very small. Most beginning golfers would not be able to execute the shot shown here using a 60-degree wedge. With the ability to get high percentage flop shot results with the Alien club, I no longer attempt to perform cut lobs or flop shots using traditional wedges. Now let's see how the Alien handles deep rough. Here's where I think the Alien shines. The Alien's club head weighs more than the club heads of my other wedges. Again, I try to hit slightly behind the ball. The success percentage is higher than when I use my other wedges. In sum, I conclude that the skill and technique required for the Alien is less demanding than for traditional wedges, thus providing high handicap golfers a quicker route to lower scores. I do not recommend the Alien to accomplished golfers. Here's why. The strength of the club for beginners, that is, the very few variables to worry about and control, is the weakness for experts who may wish to alter things such as the face loft, swing plane, and impact direction. Though I carry the Alien wedge, I often prefer to use my sand wedge or 60-degree wedge for many shots. I prefer not to use the Alien for shots that are 40 yards or longer. In fact, I'm not sure I can get more than 40 yards of distance from the Alien club. If possible, I suggest borrowing an Alien club before purchasing one. To give the club a fair evaluation, you must use it as described in this video. In my first time borrowing an Alien club, I achieved immediate success, increasing my bunker escape rate from about 50% to over 90%.